Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell appeared to have frozen up during an event in his home state of Kentucky. The 81-year-old didn't respond when asked about running for re-election in 2026. Here's a video.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
okay.
Now, that is the second time that this has happened within a month. A McConnell spokesperson afterwards said the senator felt momentarily lightheaded and paused during his press conference today. An aide for the senator said he would be consulting a physician prior to his next event. Look, I am no medical professional, but guy was out of it for like half a minute. That's more than just having some momentary lightheadedness. It's almost as if he didn't understand the question and couldn't process it. It seemed like he was in a completely different world, on a different planet. But look, there's more video. I'm gonna give you more context here. This is what happened after the original video cut off.
Senator Daniel Cameron, do you have a comment on Daniel Cameron?
Well, I think the government race is going to be very close. Far and away the best candidate we could have nominated. And the state has become increasingly Republican. In fact, the government is the only Democrat left, frankly. So I'm optimistic that Daniel will be our next governor.
Okay, I think we can do one more.
Senator, what is your reaction on Trump's latest indictment? Would you support him as a nominee?
It's a question about Trump.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment about the presidential race, either on the Republican side or the Democrat side.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, so a couple of things stood out about that video. Number one, of course, Mitch McConnell sounding pretty weak. Let's be honest, he does not sound like he's got energy, okay? Very, very low energy. And again, I'm not saying that to pick on him or anything like that. He just does not look well. And then, of course, the aide standing next to him, her face kind of said it all, if you were paying attention to that. She also was like, oh no. And then he immediately, of course, no comment, and off they go. Look, this may be a bit controversial for some people, but I think it's time for Mitch McConnell to not seek re-election, to be done with his political career. And it's not because I disagree with him, it's because this guy obviously is having some health issues, and he's been having some health issues for some time, and everybody knows it. Everybody around him knows it. Look, earlier this year, McConnell was hospitalized for a concussion and broken ribs after suffering a fall. And his Republican colleagues have privately expressed concerns about his physical health, noting that he doesn't speak or answer questions at weekly policy lunches as often as he used to. He seems to have some hearing problems. And one GOP senator told NBC News, quote, "People think that he's not hearing well. I think that he is just not processing." So there is some, discussion about whether or not it actually he has hearing problems or if it's just mental processing problems. Yikes. Not good. Not a good situation at all. So again, the same thing happened last month, and I believe that there's a good chance that it's going to happen again and possibly get even more frequent. That's going to have a big impact on his job. Now, this situation also reminds me, in case, by the way, you're saying, well, what about Democrats? What about this? What about that? Well, I have I'm consistent, okay? I've talked before about Dianne Feinstein. That situation is eerily similar. In fact, I would say that Feinstein is actually doing far worse when it comes to having significant cognitive issues. I would say she is worse off than McConnell, and that illustrates the problem here. So both Dianne Feinstein and Mitch McConnell are going to continue to serve in their seats. She will not retire. He will not retire. And look, for the Feinstein situation, it's the fact that, you know, Gavin Newsom has promised to appoint a black woman to succeed her and then to run in her seat. Incumbency, of course, brings a lot of opportunities to win re-election. And look, there's only one black woman in that district that's running, and that's progressive Barbara Lee. As I mentioned, she is progressive. I don't think either Gavin Newsom or especially Feinstein's staff are happy with that. They'll be, of course, out of their positions, out of their jobs, and the donors won't be happy because you'd have a progressive in that seat. Now, when it comes to McConnell, honestly, I don't know. McConnell, deeply, deeply unpopular in even his own state, but still, at the same time, he managed to continue to win re-election after re-election after re-election. And I think a lot of that has to also do with the donors who would not be happy to see Mitch McConnell step down. So the thing that those two have in common, and I think a lot of senators who are, you know, getting up there in age and Congress people, is that over the years, they've delivered to their respective corporate donors. And those same donors really don't look forward to losing out on their investments in Congress. And because that's what it is. You have these politicians that get funded by corporations through independent expenditures, as well as, you know, super PAC funding. And of course, they don't do so out of the kindness of their own hearts. No, they get a return on investment when these congressmen deliver pro-corporate policies, when they give, you know, special tax breaks to these companies, when they, you know, fail to regulate them, or even in the case of Mitch McConnell, deregulate them, or fail to do things that are incredibly popular, like, for example, rein in the cost of prescription drugs, old prescription drugs, Medicare instead of, you know, 10, or, you know, enact policies like universal health care, even a public option, which are far more popular, and yet continue to be blocked by a majority of senators that are on the and Congress people that are on the payrolls of these, you know, massive insurance companies. And so they don't want to lose out on these investments that they have built up over the decades, because again, Mitch McConnell's been serving since 1985 as a senator. That is a lot of years. That is a lot of money that these companies, that these industry groups have put into him. And they're going to try to squeeze out as much as they can from him from that investment, even if the man, again, can't process questions. Again, we see it with Dianne Feinstein in her having, you know, these you know, moments, and these moments are becoming far more numerous, where she has problems with cognition, not knowing where she is or what she's talking about, repeating herself. And so, look, these are serious issues. Okay, this is the reality of why both are continuing to serve in their positions, though, because these people that have put so much money into them don't want them to leave, despite having very obvious health issues. And so, again, we have this pretty vicious system of money in politics, and of course, there are people that are going to continue to do, I think, what is tantamount to elder abuse in order to continue to have that money flowing. It's a disgusting system that we have, and McConnell might just be the latest victim of it.